Oh, you're cracking a cold one already?
Cracking a cold one. For those that are listening, it's just a sparkling water.
Those kind of look like that, what is it, those ranch water cans?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of look similar. Do you think they did it on purpose?
Oh, yeah.
They had to have, right?
Oh, yeah.
Marketing.
Good marketing.
Change of pace, change of location today, B-Mills.
Yeah, new venue. We're in the GOHUNT Bow Shop.
Yeah, the GOHUNT Archery Pro Shop, which is kind of a sick little space. I know that we've talked previously, like I kind of wished it was a little bigger, but for what it is, it's pretty great. Come in and get your bow set up. You buy a new bow, you can get your new strings. We got strings that are coming in. People are getting new strings put on their bows.
All these bows over here, that one I heard fell off a cliff.
Oh, really? The dirty one?
Yeah, the dirty one.
That's a dirty bow.
Yeah. Yeah, it literally, I think, ass over tea kettle off.
Did that one give you anxiety when you look at it?
Yes,
that one does me. My bows never looked like that.
No.
I would take that thing straight to the car wash.
Yeah.
Straight to the car wash. Yeah, that thing looks like it's been on the back of maybe a side-by-side, kicking around. It probably still functions great, but
yeah,
it does worry me a little bit.
Tender love and care.
I guess before we dive into what we're doing in here and why we're in the bow shop today, which I'm pretty excited about.
I am too.
I know you are.
I didn't sleep last night.
I want to gauge your full level excitement, but I guess before we get going, we should hit promo.
Yep.
This is going to go out tomorrow, Thursday the 2nd.
Yep.
We're recording this on the 1st of July. Happy July. We got the 4th, and more importantly, we have the USA soccer team plays tonight.
We were talking about that earlier. You are jacked on that.
Yeah. But we have the 4th of July sale coming up.
Yep.
Which I don't know a lot of details about. I probably should.
Just know there's a lot of good things on sale.
Just know there's a bunch of stuff on sale that you probably need for your upcoming hunts.
And like we always say, it's a great time to stock up on the things that you know you're going to need later on. Might as well get them now at a discount. Like, would we fail at all the time trail?
Everything.
We fail on food.
Yeah, for sure. Food.
We always wait till the last minute. Everything's always sold out. So don't be like us. Get your food now. I even, I know we're talking about bows today, but I bought a shit ton of broadheads because I'm worried those are going to start to sell out.
For sure.
So pick them up now while I can, while I know they're in stock, where I don't have to have that last minute, like trying to search around the internet, trying to find, the broadheads or arrows you want to shoot, whatever it might be. So yeah, 4th of July sale.
Yeah, and there is all kinds of stuff that you're going to find out that you need, and now's the time to figure out what you need rather than a day or 2 days before your hunt starts. I know that I'm doing a gear list today for archery mule deer tag that I've got coming up, and I was going through my list, getting all my gear laid out, and stuffed in my backpack, and I was like, game bags. Like I've had so many game bags over the years, but they've kind of I farmed a bunch of them out. Seems like I've given them to people, or like I took that bull that I killed this last year in Arizona, and I think I remember those guys asking me like, "Oh, did you want these game bags back?" And I said, "Well, yeah, unless you want them. Do you want to use them?"
Yeah. And
I think I gave those away. So it's just like I'm hodgepodging, game bag sets. So that was just one item. I talked to you yesterday, Steri pin. That's another item that I need. I've been relying on the Aquamira drops over the years, which has always been my go-to. But I'm out of those and I can't find them anywhere. And there's just different items, different holes in my kit that I definitely need to pick up. So now's the time to figure it out and do it. And with the 4th of July sale, you can probably pick up a bunch of that stuff on sale.
Yep.
And then promo code podcast. You can use promo code podcast if you sign up for a GoHunt Insider membership. There's still a lot of opportunity to do some research. You still have some over-the-counter tags that are going to become available. I live in Utah. Over-the-counter elk starts in July. Probably actually within the next 2 weeks, you'll start to see those hit. And if you don't have any tags, there's still opportunities to get tags, and you can do all your research within your Insider account. And so use that promo code podcast, sign up, and you're going to get $50 back in the Go Hunt Gear Shop that you can use towards the purchase of any gear that you want in the shop. I take it, I take it for granted, I guess, that we talk about it a lot, the promo points, but we don't really. So 1 point's $1.
It's the easiest point system ever.
It's stupid simple, and any gear that you buy in the shop has a point total associated with that product, which is in essence just the amount of dollars that you get back on that purchase. So it's like your own little secret stash.
Ooh, of extra cash or
see what I mean?
Yeah, significant other.
You do some shopping in the gear shop and you build up a little extra cash. It's just tucked away in your account.
Your GoHunt bank account.
Yeah, for sure. So use the promo code podcast.
And then we also have a new thing we've been doing for Insider Plus members.
Right.
So we've been doing monthly calls right now, which is pretty cool benefit to the Insider Plus program.
So we did one the other night. What was it, last Thursday?
Yeah.
And that was for Insider Plus members only. I know there was you and I and Brandon and Dave, Austin from that Insider Plus team, Ruger. We all jumped on that call, and basically what we did is we took like maybe 10 or 15 minutes. We picked a topic. I think this one was like how to secure some of those last minute tags if you're still looking. And I think Ruger and Austin took that section of it. The one I did the year or the month prior was kind of like more elk centric, archery elk hunting. But basically those guys are going to pick a topic, and then we're all going to jump on, and just for probably like an hour and a half, we're going to have like a round table, right?
Yep.
I know that you and I took Q&A along with the other guys for probably, 45 minutes, an hour, which is really fun.
Yeah, it's a great way for people to come have some questions prepared, or just come and soak up whatever topics other people want to ask about. So I think what the next one's going to be about e-scouting. And then we have archery elk one. Obviously, all these will be the month prior. So I think the one in late July is going to be e-scouting. Late August is going to be about September archery elk. And then the one late September is going to be about October mule deer hunting. And then the next one's going to be about like late season rifle tactics for elk and deer.
You're probably going to have to do the archery elk one, because I might be out hunting muleys.
I'll definitely. Yeah,
you might have to hold the fort down.
Yeah.
But those are really fun. I actually really enjoyed it. I know this is the we've done 2 now. I know the first one I kind of prepared a thing, and I probably ran too long and got long-winded, but it was probably 15, 20 minutes, I guess, that I spoke, and then the Q&A. But I walked away from that being like, that was really fun. Like, I really enjoyed it, because I think, man, I answer DMs. I answer a lot of DMs. We had a guy just in here, from Oklahoma shortly ago, and he's like, hey, you answer DMs. We DM back and forth on Instagram. And I do a lot of those. Like, if you reach out to me, I try to answer as many questions as I can. But, like, you miss out, like, that human element of, like, getting able to, like, talk to somebody, see their face, and like kind of just read their body language. And like, that's what I really liked about that one that we did the other night, was it was just fun to be actually see the person, get a chance to, correspond back and forth with them, and make sure that we got like the specifics of their question answered.
Yep. And the cool side about that too is obviously it's video focused.
Right.
So they can have their camera on if they want. If you're the type of person where I probably was way back in the day, maybe a little more nervous and not wanting to ask questions.
If you were sitting there pantsless and you didn't want to turn your camera on.
You don't want to turn my camera on. You can still just go in and use the chat function and ask your question, then we can answer it. So don't feel like you have to be like super comfortable on camera or anything like that. It's like if you're nervous, just still jump on. You can just type out a question and we'll, answer it for you. I think a bunch of the e-scouting ones too, we're going to come with more slides prepared, and then probably pull up like GOHUNT maps and actually give a demo while we're on there for people to see. So it's a cool.
Yeah, you can share
benefit.
Your screen.
Yep.
You can share all your waypoints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I'm sure those will all be fake.
Yeah, they definitely are fake.
That was really fun. Like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. I think if I were somebody that got into hunting late, it would definitely shorten the learning curve. I feel like you get a chance to ask somebody that's done it for a long time, real world questions. So I thought that was really cool. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. But so that's for Insider Plus members, right?
Yep.
So you got to be an Insider Plus member. And that program's actually pretty cool. I think it definitely makes sense for a lot of folks that are, struggle. In particular, I think folks that are struggling to like apply in the West. We're mostly through app season, but as we roll into next year, you get to like December and then January all the way through May. That process of applying in all the states for all the different species can be really intimidating. It can be hard to navigate, and to have somebody essentially do your apps for you with your objectives in mind would be worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, never miss a deadline ever again. Put more tags in your pocket. Talk to someone, bounce ideas back, which is always great to have. Like, obviously, we bounce ideas back, which is very beneficial, and this is just a way to do the same thing with our Insider Plus members.
There's so many hunts that you can apply for. This is like a pet peeve of mine, and I just have, recently, Arizona, right? So Arizona, I got my unsuccessful draw for bighorn sheep and mule deer.
Yeah.
And that one had me thinking about it, but there's other draws like Wyoming sheep, right? It's just like you could waste your money every single year. Like the preference point purchase time frame is open today, right?
Yep.
For Wyoming. And you could jump on there and think, I'm going to buy a preference point for bighorn sheep in Wyoming. It's going to help me. I'm going to draw a tag. You know,
Yeah.
I'm only 20, but by the time I'm 80, I'll draw that thing, right? Probably not the case.
Yeah.
And if you didn't understand that, you would, in essence, pour $150 into that year over year over year over year and never, ever advance your chances of actually drawing. So, like, you could waste so much money in short order.
Yeah.
And that's just like one example. That doesn't, and that's not even like take into account, you know, just like not the smartest applications for the number of points you have, you know?
Yep.
So
And those are things you can learn.
For sure. Anyway, yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely sign up for GOHUNT Insider Plus membership. And then those Q&As are really fun. I liked them. So now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes.
Oh boy.
Why are we standing in the bow shop? I mean, I know why I'm standing in the bow shop.
Because you're a bow hunter.
I spend a lot of time in here, but
Yeah.
why are you standing in the bow shop?
We've kicked around this little thing I've been hinting at for a while, like my need to possibly come out of retirement. So
Sounds so dramatic.
I officially retired in 2015 after I lost that giant buck with my bow. First year I've ever lost, and it just wrecked me completely. Lost all drive for bow hunting. And toying the idea around about like, need to get that monkey off my back, try it again. And, you know, we talked, I think last year, maybe doing an archery elk hunt together. And, you know, just kind of started getting the bug again a little bit. And then this year, you know, I was hope to draw a certain tag that would allow me to archery hunt and rifle hunt, but point creep got me a little bit, which is okay. And then randomly something else came up, and now I have an archery mule deer tag in my pocket.
Is that the only thing that could push you over the brink of like getting back into bow hunting?
Yeah, get
an archery mule deer tag.
Yeah,
it's a good tag. Yeah, good opportunity. Right,
great opportunity to go. And it's like, well, I have 2 months to get ready, and I've been running around like a kid, just so excited for Christmas morning.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I bombarded you with questions yesterday, and they were like, we should just do a podcast about this.
Yeah.
And then kind of like set up the bow. I have so many questions. I obviously asked you yesterday, so I'm going to probably repeat a bunch of those questions again. But I'm just like, you know, getting back into it again after, like, what is that? That's 11 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
It's been 11 years since I actually bow hunted. I've shot bows, obviously, in the meantime, but just haven't, you know, taken it seriously for the longest time. And started looking at, you know, new bows, the technology I have from the Atlas that's sitting over here compared to what they have now. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they've come a long ways, right?
It's crazy to think too, like that's only 5-6 year old bow, but the tech now is totally different.
Isn't it funny how dated they look?
Yeah.
Even I know, just looking at it looks so archaic, right? The shape of the riser, even, and I don't know, the way the whole thing is built. They just look old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how quickly that happens.
And it's crazy too. Like my excitement level right now is not something I felt in a long time.
It's fun,
like,
isn't it?
It's so awesome. Like I went down a YouTube rabbit hole this last week, and I did a bunch this last night. Like I watched all of James Yates's Arrow Study. Dove into that. Obviously, you were telling me I should check out certain things the last couple of weeks, and then I just went ham on it. Obviously, talked to James on the phone the other night too, and it's like thanking him for it. Like it's a pretty cool thing they did, and seeing all that stuff like totally swayed my decision on what I was picking up for a arrow main broadhead setup. Like
cool,
really
cool
resource.
Project.
Yeah,
passion project for sure.
Yeah. So. Like I said, last night I stayed up till probably 1 a.m. watching YouTube videos.
Yeah. I want to go back to, that deer that you hit. So the name of that film, if you want to watch it, it's called Into Thin Air.
Yep.
What year was that?
2015.
2015. And you hit a deer.
Yep. Giant deer.
Didn't find it.
Didn't find it.
Did you find your arrow?
Found my arrow. It had like bone fragments, obviously a lot of blood. It was past the last rib, like right at that last rib. So I think I clipped that bone.
So back?
Way back, yeah.
So you think he was gut shot? Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. You worked for 3 days, I think, after. Gritted it all out.
Gritted everything out. We waited like 24 hours before we went in the area because there was a giant rainstorm right after I killed. Probably could have stalked him again, but it was like, oh, I watched him go into this timber patch. He split up from the other 2 bucks he was with and never came out of this timber patch. Like, let's just give him time. Time's always the best thing. So we gave him 24 hours before we went back in there, and it rained the hardest I've ever seen it rain that whole entire night. And then once we got back to camp, Lorenzo's just flipping through his phone, showing me all these bucks. Like, hey, this buck was hit way worse than yours when we found it. This buck, hit in the ass, and we're able to recover it, and it was dead. Trying to give me all the positive vibes in the world. We start sneaking in there, the next day and start looking around and not finding it. Finding a couple spots that kind of smelled, gutty type of thing. Looked like some beds. Ran into a black bear, which wasn't very exciting in that area. So I don't know if the black bear was cruising around and also spooked that deer and pushed him a little bit further. But like the rain, washed everything away.
Yeah.
And then that 3 days of gridding it out constantly and like taking away from Lorenzo hunting. I told him to keep going hunting when I was just gridding out. He was helping me grid. Camera guy was gridding. And just covered had my GPS track on the whole time, and that was when I had a physical GPS.
Yeah.
Like
the old Garmin.
Yeah.
E-Trax Mini or whatever.
And it just destroyed me to the point where
I was going to ask you. So, at what point did from that experience, like when did it hit you? Like when was it? Like when you're gridding it out? Was it on the hike out? Was it when you got home? And like, what did it feel like?
It really hit me right when we started hiking out because I realized like I've never lost an animal before, and I know that's can affect people different ways, but to me, it just ate me up completely. It didn't help at all, too, that it was literally the biggest deer ever. It was, probably we thought it was like 207. Giant buck, kickers, inlines everywhere, all in velvet, huge deer. And, I had blown him out earlier in the day and then ended up getting a 51-yard shot on him. I had a smaller, like 165, 170 buck bedded 40 yards below me, and this buck was coming around like a mountain goat trail, and I actually had to navigate a nasty steep cliff on the backside, crept up over the ridge, got in position, didn't want to spook that buck. Could have shot him, but I was like, I have to go after that big deer. And then since I spooked him probably 2 hours earlier at like 33 yards, I think it was, I elected not to stop him.
Yeah.
So I came to full draw, ranged 51 yards. I'm like,
downhill.
I felt downhill, felt confident with it. Looking back, not stopping him was a big mistake, but I worried that if I made some noise, that little buck next to me might blow,
right?
Or he might have some other sense because he just was spooked, 2 hours earlier. So all that stuff added up to just a bad situation. Caught up in the moment, didn't stop him, but I thought, that was at the time when I was a psycho bow hunter. Like I've killed everything with my bow: mountain goat, moose, tons of mule deer, tons of antelope, and I was prepared for it, I thought, but. Yeah, every now and then you just don't make a great shot. And obviously he was walking, so it drifted back a little bit further. Thought I was leading him enough, but wasn't. Lesson learned there. But it really hit after I came back home. Just really started eating me up. Like I wanted to go back in there, look for it. Had a guy message me who's elk hunting up in that area who recognized us. Like, hey, elk hunt all the time up there. If I find that deer, I'll let you know. But it started eating me up day after day of being back home and just realizing, like, hey, is that deer dead? Is he suffering? Did he die? We just didn't find him. Maybe we should have gridded down lower in the willows a little bit more. And then I think it was you and I at one point went to the range afterwards up here in Vegas, and we were doing some video thing. I can't remember, but I was like shooting at a 40-yard target, and I shot like 6 feet to the right. Like I was just panicking every time I came to full draw.
Right.
Just kept freaking out. Like I just couldn't mentally do it anymore, and it was like just became not fun.
And
I just kept thinking back to that moment of that deer. Every time I get in a full draw, that's like all I kept visualizing.
Yeah. I hope you don't mind me kind of belaboring it and going back through that, but I do want to understand like the mindset of like what that felt like then, because you did quit. I mean, it was something in essence, like I can't imagine myself quitting bow hunting. Yeah. Right.
And it was something that I used to be the guy that made fun of rifle hunters.
Right.
I did was bow hunt. Like I got made fun of for taking a bow on that coos deer hunt.
Right.
Like that was like, you're never going to kill a coos deer with your bow. And I killed the biggest buck in the camp, Obviously there's a lot of luck on that, but like, I took a bow, mountain goat hunting and moose hunting, and the guy had never ever taken a bow hunter before. He's like, yeah, you might get opportunities, but most likely you have to pick up a rifle. And I was like, I'm not picking up a rifle. There's no way. And I killed my mountain goat the second day of the hunt. And then less than 24 hours later, I killed a bull moose with my bow. Like I was in archery deep, tournaments every weekend when I lived in Montana.
Yeah.
Constantly shooting my bow. That's all I did.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't imagine
going that deep to nothing.
Yeah. I can't imagine stopping. And that's what I find it like interesting. I know people have asked me like, oh, why did Brady quit bow hunting? And I'm like, well, I can't really say, but I can give you like the situation, the way that I understand it. Certainly I can't climb in your head and understand it, but I mean, you felt that at a level that it made a massive change in your perception. Which is pretty gnarly.
Yeah. That's something severe that happened in your life that you just can't let go of, and you just quit the thing that literally defined you.
Yeah, that you loved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've had people be like, you got to get back on the horse, and I'm like, yeah, I get that, but I'm also not that dude. Like, I can't climb in your head and understand how you perceive that and how you processed it, and obviously it was pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm. Very heavy, very deep.
So rolling now into, you got a new bow. We're ready to build it. We're going to build this thing. Like, how do you feel now? Because it has been 10 years, 11 years.
Yeah, 11 years. It's like excitement level, like I said, that I haven't felt in a long time. Like getting back to something that I truly loved before. Mm-hmm. And literally, like I said, geeking out, watching every YouTube video, watching hunt films. Like, it feels new, but it feels like I'm going home.
New in a good way, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then just seeing this bow yesterday, for the first time, looking at it, it's like, this is real. Yeah. Like, I have a tag. I have to do everything I can now to get over that hump, to do everything right. I have 2 months to prepare right now, and I'm going to go all in.
Yeah. Do you understand it differently than you did then?
I think
prior.
I think I'm now in a way better mental space for it, and just understand what I need to do, all the prep. And like I said, I became psycho rifle hunter, and I'm just going to continue to take all those lessons I learned of that, and I'll put it back into a bow.
Sure.
Like, I used to love tuning bows.
Mm-hmm.
I would,
like
geeking out on arrow setups, weighing them all, floating them in a bathtub, weighing every single vein, like making every arrow a clone. Like I always say, my ammo's a clone of each other.
I don't think anybody's doing that anymore.
No.
The old arrow in the bathtub.
Gosh, I got to redo all my strategies.
I think you can paper tune every individual arrow and kind of knock tune it, but I don't think anybody's floating arrows anymore in a bathtub.
Yeah, I used to remember back in the day too. I have sketches. I actually have my brother. He actually built me an overdraw bracket. Like, I was that into it where I was custom making a bunch of archery accessories. I remember taking multiple different archery rests and combine them together to make something that actually worked for my system. We talked yesterday about I used to take every single piece of hardware off a bow and switch it to all titanium hardware, like just whatever I could do to gain something. And it might not have been performance wise, but it was like in my head.
Yeah.
That
frame of mind
helped. Yeah.
Confidence.
And then I'm to do the same thing now. Like, I'm going to go deep.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things like that in archery. I was listening to like a Q&A that somebody did the other day with George Riles, and they were asking him about like some myths, in archery, and trying to debunk them or confirm them. And one of the questions they asked him was like, how much does the straightness of your arrow actually matter? And he referenced a study, which I think I've read the study as well, that they basically found that anything within like 0.006, which you think of that if you're buying carbon arrows right now, that's like the more crooked end of the spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. Like, those are your more budget options, and then you're going to get straightness up to like 0.001. And then even, people, they asked another question of like, how much difference does grain matter in your point of impact? Like, if you have one arrow and it's 5 grains lighter or heavier than another arrow, like, does it change your impact point? But anyway, take home on it is that you really don't see any impact up to that like 0.006%. But if you think it's more accurate, if in your head you are more confident with that arrow because it's a straighter arrow, you've spun it, then that's what matters, right?
Yeah, so if I weighed out my arrow and I weighed 450 grains, one weighs 445, I should write them all as 450 just to like mentally.
Yeah, you could. You know what's funny about that one? Like, I'll weigh all my arrows and I'll write it, in a silver Sharpie on the individual arrows, like those ones over there in my quiver. You can look, they've got the weight written on them. That one doesn't bug me. Like, I don't have any kind of mental block in my head over the arrows weighing the same. Like, as long as they're within like 3 or 4 grains, which I think I built the entire dozen, and I will say that there was only 1 grain difference between all of them. And then I've got A or A plus.
I see the A or A
plus.
Yeah,
the A or A plus arrows. Yeah, those are the ones that spin the truest, that weigh the same. But that one doesn't bug me that much. Like, if they're 4 or 5 grains, I don't really care that much about it. But straightness, even though I know that like it's straighter than my ability to shoot that thing well, like, that one bugs me more.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. It's like funny, the little things that you allow into your head. In archery, I mean, as you know, it's mostly between your ears.
It really is.
I mean, a lot of guys that are top level archers that have won a bunch of tournaments, they've got a bow that, wasn't even tuned at all, but it grouped well, and they just went out and shot it well the exact same way every single time. And that's the thing about tuning. We're going to talk tuning, right? We're going to dive into it and build your bow here. But what is tuning? What does it give you? I think it just gives you maybe a little bit more forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
right? But most importantly, he's the guy behind the bow.
Yeah.
As long as you do the same thing the same way every single time.
Mm-hmm. And then in my mind too, having it tuned perfectly, it's
Mhm.
like that extra little mental.
Yeah,
edge
it checks
I
the
get.
box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a guy the other day message me and he was like, man, I'm knock tuning. And he's like, I'm tuning every single arrow. I'm shooting it through paper. And he's like, I've got a few that just won't knock tune. I was like, yeah, out of a dozen, sometimes you don't, and you kind of take the bulk of like what your arrows do. And anyway, he got back to me. He's like, I'm gonna take a break for a while. He's like, I'm just frustrated with it. I was like,
Yeah.
don't let that derail you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can definitely dive down rabbit holes as deep as you want to.
Oh yeah. Which is what I was doing last night.
Cool. So let's talk bow selection.
Yeah.
Why you've got a Matthews Arc 34.
Yep.
Why that bow?
I've just always been a big fan of Matthews. It fits me really well. And after looking at this one, obviously I could have gone there. Was it the XD, the long draw version?
From Hoyt?
No, from Matthews. They have a long draw.
Yeah, the lift, the 33, the Lift X.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I could have gone the long draw version, but this one goes up to 32. I'm a 32 and a quarter. And after talking to you about it, I think I'd rather stick with the longer axle 34, and then be able to just do, because I might D-loop, twist some strings a little bit to get to that 32 and a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And
probably fit your frame a little bit better.
yeah,
it's an inch longer axle to axle. You're tall guy, 6'5" probably.
Yep.
So yeah.
And I do really appreciate too, like I was obviously talking to you about stabilizer a lot yesterday. Like obviously over there, I have a downturn 15 front bee stinger and I think a 10 off the back. Obviously with the Matthews Shrewd angled B-bar thing in the back. But I just really like all the new bridge lock technology that's built into this. It just makes it so much simpler and easier.
Slides right in,
less vibration. Everything's just locked in place really, really well, and this holds there. Like obviously on that bracket, it would like rotate on me every now and then. I have to crank that back quarter Allen to like really, really get it in there. Try to use Loctite because it would move back and forth, and I never really liked that.
The back bar bracket is actually a huge advancement, which it seems so not stupid, but it seems so elementary, right? Basically, where that slides through the riser. Mm-hmm. Is such an advantage over the previous options because it's like you said, if you're walking with your bow in your left hand, you fall. Usually for me, the first thing I'm going to do is going to stick my back bar, my V-bar, into the dirt, and that thing, folds in and collapses or turns or spins on that bolt. But having the ability to run that thing through the riser now and use that as your connection point just gives you so much more surface area. It is way more steady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, it seems kind of gimmicky, but actually installing it and carrying it around, walking with it, putting it on the ground, I'm like, it's definitely way more stable.
Yeah, it seems like it is locked in place. And obviously I need to, adjust it, modify it after I shoot, but I just kind of got it mocked in last night, and I was like, wow.
Like, yeah, it works so nice.
That excited me a lot.
Very nice. Yeah, the other thing about their stabilizers, and I know they're pricey. Like I wouldn't mix words about it. They're expensive, right? I do love the fact that you have so much contact point in the riser versus it all hinging on a bolt that sticks out the front end of it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it just seems to me at least, and again, it might be just anecdotal, but it does make sense to me that you've got more surface area resting in the riser than you do, just sitting on the end of a bolt on the front bar.
Yeah, and I was really intrigued too about the new dovetail mounting surface area for air rest.
It just keeps everything so in line.
Yeah. And like that's now going to be less of a failure point because obviously everyone knows I've shot overdraw brackets forever. Like I know it's old school, but I love it. Do a lot of torque tuning with it. And I can't do that anymore with these new setups based on where that roller guard is kind of sitting. But that was always a pain point too because I always had to add extra set screws on that to make sure it never moved or rotated. Because like if you fall and hit your rest, it has that. It's longer, obviously, so easier chance to fulcrum up or down. Where now when everything's integrated right on here, it's
solid.
It's foolproof.
Yeah. You can't change the angle on that if you want because it fits flush against the riser, which is really nice. Yeah, it just is so much more streamlined and so much more clean. I mean, everything fits right in line with the riser.
Even the bow sight through the bridge lock.
Yep,
too.
For sure.
So it intrigued me a lot. And then just the specs on it and everything about it, I was like, wow, this thing looks like a race car compared to my old bow.
And I think it will be. I think it's going to be so much faster. brace height, I mean, I think on that one's what, 7.5?
7.5, I think it was.
7 3/4, maybe even. It's long.
What's the brace height on 34?
I think you're going to be 6.5, I want to say, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't know off the top of my head. I should know that. But you're going to pick up quite a bit of feet per second. I was really shocked. So, like, when I was down here last week, I took my bow, which is an ARC 34. It's 70.4 pounds, so it's like right at 70 pounds, 80% mods, 30, it's like 30 3/4 inch draw length. Arrows I'm shooting are 492 grains built out, and I was getting 295 feet per second, which for me, I was like really, really excited with that number for a 490 grain arrow. I mean, I ought to be able to blow through an elephant with that.
You'd hope. You'd hope.
Not that I want to shoot an elephant.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the other day on Instagram the cutest little elephant, like little baby elephant. Yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't think I could shoot one of those. I might be. I could. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Cool. So should we build you out? You got questions?
Out. So, I mean, I already bought a bunch of stuff yesterday. I was obviously asking you, arrow rest, decided to go R7.
Yeah, why? Why not? Why limb-driven versus cable?
I've always liked limb-driven rest because I know I can fix it in the field. Mm-hmm. If I need to, I can take, a shoelace. I can take something. I can take extra dilute material and do it rather than on the cable. You can fix that too, but this seems like an easier way to ever do it. And I know it's going to come up. I know it's going to go down. It has to. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to worry about, not sliding up or down on the cable, and everything's just there. And what did they say? This is obviously R7, the 7th integration of it. And I've always been a huge fan of Hansky products. Those guys are geeks. Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah. I mean, people have asked like advantages, disadvantages between a limb-driven rest and then like a QAD, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say advantages is the one that's bomb-proof essentially. I mean, Hansky's known for making a bomb-proof rest. The other advantage is that you can work on it in the field. Like you already said, your down cable, which is going to control that. You could replace that. I would give that advantage to it. So durability, the ability to work on it in the field, I would say is a pro. Probably the only disadvantage I would say of a limb-driven rest is that your arrow is going to be in the down position. Mm-hmm. And people just have a mental with that. Like they don't want it in the down position. They want it locked out like you get on a QAD. Mm-hmm. So like if you're in a stalking position and you're working up on a mule deer that's bedded, you're going to have to find a way to manage that, right? Mm-hmm. And I talked to somebody last week and they were like, yeah, my finger's not long enough to like reach up and hold my arrow, and that's why I don't use an R7. Mm-hmm. They have fixes. In fact, I was going to bring you one. I should have brought you one. And I'm going to find, you can fill the airwaves, but I need to give this guy, give this guy some credit because it is a cool little thing. So what it is a little pad that you put on your shelf. Yep. And it has two little rubber things that come up, and they basically touch in the middle, but they have a gap in it.
Yeah, you cut it out.
You don't even have to cut it.
Is it the same product? I was watching Podium Archery's YouTube last night, and he was talking about this little pad.
It might be the same.
It's a really crazy name.
God, I've got to find this guy's name because he was nice enough to send me some, and I put them on my bow, and they've been working fantastic.
Let me pull up.
So let me find this guy's name and his company. I want to make sure that I plug him because it works really, really well. I was a little bit skeptic, like as I put that on the riser and as I start to draw my bow, is it going to like pop the arrow out, and kind of jump on my rest? But it hasn't at all. I mean, it comes back real smooth. It just pops right up out of that thing. I've got to find this dude's name. Let me find it. You're going to have some dead airwaves.
Dead right airwaves here. Now. We'll go.
And that's okay. I'm okay with that because I want to find this dude's name.
Yeah, what was the one I was looking at last night?
So many DMs. I'll tell you what, I'm going to find it.
Is it this one?
I don't know. You just got to spin to win.
Spin to win.
Slum Archers.
Slum Archers.
It looks like that, yeah. It looks very similar, but I don't think that's the same company.
It's this. That's what it looks like?
It does look like that.
Okay.
Yep.
So sorry, promoting something else that you're not. That's one I saw last night when I was on the YouTube deep
It
dive.
is Slum Archers.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. Same one, but
Yeah.
it works awesome. Yeah.
You have an extra one?
I do.
Oh, I was
yeah.
I was
And
gonna buy one.
the guy's name is Trey Sandness. I think it looks like you can buy them on Podium.
Yeah, you can buy them on Podium.
I know you can buy them on that guy's. I think he has like an Etsy address that you can buy them on Etsy
Yeah,
too.
that's what he mentioned. Like it's out of stock on their website, but it's
Okay.
$15.
Yep. I even have one this color of your riser.
Yeah, Slum Archers Custom.
Yeah. But those work awesome. And the cool thing about them is you glue them here to the bottom of the shelf and you kind of load your arrow through and you can turn your bow upside down. Like you can walk around. I mean, it doesn't move. And then as you draw your bow, it comes up out of that nice and smooth.
So yeah, that's that benefit you would have where you don't have it if you have these limb driven.
Yeah. Yeah. And the QAD, for people that have shot QADs, like I totally understand that you like having your arrow in the up position, but there still is like a little bit of play in that thing.
Grab that guy's bow?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a shot bow, a demo. You can see the QAD here, which is nice because you put that thing up. It does keep the thing contained, but like I couldn't turn that bow upside down. With my arrow loaded, it would still bounce off the top of that. Like it wouldn't fall out, but there is the potential for it to kind of clang around.
Yep.
That's the thing I like about those Slum Archer little things is that like it doesn't move. Like you can literally walk around with it upside down and your arrow's not going anywhere.
It's so funny that I found that last night. Like I was, like I said, deep diving, geeking out, just watching tons of product reviews and.
Yep. I just put one on, like I said, maybe 10 days ago and it's been awesome. So I would highly recommend one of those. And I mean, if you put one of those on a limb-driven rest, it's hard not to like a limb-driven rest, especially
grab my Atlas,
the R7.
So that's what I was looking at too. There's really not like on the old bows. Like I would always take fuzzy side Velcro felt thing and kind of cover that all up.
And I still do that. Yeah, I forgot I have my bow. I have it right here. Duh. Yeah, so you can see how that thing will work.
Okay,
yeah, and I just trimmed it down and glued it to it. I do the same thing with my bows, so I'll take like this adhesive back foam, which you can get at a craft store, and I basically just line my riser with it so that everything is quiet. That way, should the arrow fall off, it's not going to make any noise.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a weird material that would just pop right up.
Yeah, it's like rubber. Here, actually grab an arrow. And I'll show you how it works. It's actually really handy.
This is why I'm glad we're doing a podcast in here.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, like you can imagine, if I'm just shooting field tips, I just shove it through.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you've got broadheads, I wondered about that. Like, how am I going to deal with it with the broadhead? But basically, if you just push on it and work it back in, it just works right in. And then you knock your arrow, and then as you come to full draw and your rest comes up, this just slides right out, just like that.
How come you pulled all the other containment arm off your R7 and just kept the top?
I don't like it because I think it's easier to load like this.
Okay.
And we'll actually open that up and I'll show you.
I spent a lot of money yesterday in the GOHUNT gear shop.
You did. You did some shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about the rest, why you picked it. While we look at it right here, but maybe run me through some of your other options here in a sec. So yeah. So look, the R7 right here, you basically have that window right there to slide your arrow in, or you can shove it in this way, which I guess you could do. I just find it so much easier to load my arrow without this being there.
Yep.
And where I have that thing on the shelf to contain the arrow, I'm like, I don't see any point of having this. And really when I'm in the moment, like I want to have to think less. I don't want to have to like do really, minute movements and be precise about them when I'm in the moment because I know that my heart's going to be pounding anyway. So I just remove that, but you can certainly keep it if you want to.
Yeah. I heard the micro click adjustments are a lot better now on the R7.
They are better. Yeah. I would say everything's better about that rest.
Totally blacked out. No shiny things anymore. I would say it's a little shine on the black, but you don't have a silver launcher arm anymore.
All the bolts are black.
Yep. A lot easier to reach in and do all the adjustments I was looking at too, especially when you have it mounted on the side.
Yep. It's got 3 ball bearings, so you've got 2 here and 1 here, which is nice. It's just solid. It's just a solid rest. The only issue I've had with mine, and I've bought 2 now, I'll tell you how much I like it, but the only issue I've had is this bolt right here.
Okay.
And you can over tighten that bolt to the point where it breaks that little head off.
And that's the tension for the
It's the tension for the down cable. Yep. But if you're not a moron like I was and broke that off, you'd be fine. You don't have to get too crazy with it, and that's a simple fix.
I was watching a lot of videos too on the new
Yeah.
dampener thing on here, because obviously my other one, I have springs on it on my Atlas.
Yeah, it's got a new tensioner, which is really handy.
Huh.
You just pull that and slide it down. This little thing is kind of nice because it dampens the vibration. When we tie it onto your bottom limb, you want to like pull the slack out of that, but we can run through that in a sec. But run us through what else you landed on and why.
Oh, let's go through arrows. So
Okay.
I was asking you a lot of questions yesterday about arrows, what I should do, because obviously I have a big advantage. I have 32 and a quarter draw. And obviously I haven't measured my draw in a long time, so maybe I've stretched out or shortened up in my old age because I just hit 40 recently. But I have a lot of really advantages to speed, and I kind of like keeping that speed advantage as best I can. So I was looking at gold tip arrows, Pierce. And then you had kind of mentioned that would be a little bit on the heavier side.
Yeah, because you're going to have to go 250 spine,
Yep.
I think. I know that my draw length is shorter than yours, and my bow seemed to like a 250 spine, like slightly stiffer spine better. The other thing that came out of the arrow study is that they found that if you're kind of in between sizes, like you're on the fence, right, you could, and really that was another part of their study that they proved out, is that you can basically tune most any of these modern bows to whatever arrow you want to shoot, within reason, right? Like I can tune a 300 spine arrow out of mine if I want to shoot a lighter arrow, or I can bump up to 250. But what they did show in that study is that if you're kind of in that in-betweener range, jumping up to a stiffer spine was better. They grouped better with a stiffer spine. So, that's why yesterday, I think when you asked me, like I pushed you from a 300 to a 250.
Yeah, because I could potentially shoot 300s. I definitely could before when I was cutting mine down because I had an overdraw. So I was 28 inches, I think, carbon to carbon, which now I'm going to have a little longer arrow since I can't have an overdraw bracket. I've actually never shot a Victory arrow before. I've only shot Easton, assortment of Easton arrows way back in the day. I shot a lot of FMJs, and I was shooting a lot of Black Eagle X Impacts with a Fire Knock outsert. And so I was really concerned about outsert systems as well. And the research I did after we talked on the phone, but you also talked to me through it as well, that like it seems like that insert outsert system on Victory is actually a pretty quality system. And I like that I don't have to go out and search for other components and spend a lot of extra money, and it's actually getting some good components with that arrow as well.
Yeah, it's an outsert system. So essentially it's got sleeved, and then it's got an interior peg that goes down into the shaft itself. The only potential downfall of like a factory Victory outsert, which I think they call it a half out, but the only downfall potentially too is just the materials, right? So I think they ship them, a lot of them are shipped with aluminum outserts. Yeah, and you could probably pull one out and see.
I think these are stainless steel.
Oh, they might be, which would be good. I think I've told you, and I think when we talked yesterday, I have a bit of a, I don't know, within the industry right now, everybody's really into like aftermarket outsert systems, right? So hit inserts, which were, Easton brought to market, which are the ones that you glue down in your shaft. And then, you have a collar that goes on the end of the arrow, and you screw your broadhead or your field tip, and it actually threads down into the hidden insert down in your arrow. I think those are great, and they're really nice. And I think that's probably the most durable option that you can get. But, this is my hot take. I think like if you're just shooting in the summer, like you're practicing, right? You're going up to the range and you're shooting, and inevitably if you have a range that's got some 3D targets and you want to push yourself and you're shooting out to some extended range at like smaller targets, you're going to end up like missing a target or two, and you're probably going to bank an arrow like off of a rock or a board or whatever it might be, or even like, an insert that's stuck in the target that somebody lost. In my opinion, that type of situation, like it doesn't really matter what insert you have, whether you spent a lot of money on a titanium insert or you have factories, like you're going to bend or break that insert or the arrow to a point that it's not like you would just pull that thing out and you would feel great about putting a broadhead on that arrow with a new insert and shooting it anyway. So for me, it's like, what are you really getting by spending all that money for extra outserts?
Yeah.
The only point that I could argue is that like if you're going to shoot an elk, obviously you've got, big boned animal. You want the most strength in the front end of that arrow. So for that, I could understand like better material, better strength, less likely to bend. That makes sense to me. But for like your summer practicing and you're just shooting arrows, like I really don't think that spending a bunch of money on aftermarket inserts in a lot of cases are going to save you that many arrows,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. So that's why I talked to you yesterday. I'm like, you could spend a bunch of money. Like CMI, we carry they make awesome inserts. There's a bunch of them out there. Iron Will makes great ones. You can buy them at Podium. There's a lot of aftermarket options, but even Easton, I shoot Eastons. I've got those on mine, which is a stainless steel, aluminum 75 grain outsert, which is a nice outsert. But, I really feel like for you, like you're going to be pretty good to go with just factory inserts.
Yeah. And like I said, I have a really good speed advantage being a long draw guy, 70 pounds. And I've always shot, like, even when I had a moose tag back in the day, mountain goat, mule deer hunting, antelope, I've always shot 440 grains. That seems like it's been the sweet spot for me.
Yeah, that was one thing we talked about yesterday. So why 440 versus like 500, which is closer to what I'm shooting?
I used to do the 500. I think I was up to like 509, 512, something like that when I shot full metal jackets back in the day. And sure, I could still get those ripping, but I was shooting an 80-pound bow back in the day.
Okay.
And then when I went back down to a 70-pound bow, shooting 440 grains, it just ended up what it ended up with. And it always shot well for me. I always got good speed out of it. Still hits, right where I want it to always.
Yeah.
And I've kind of just liked having that extra speed when available, and especially since I can get a lot of extra speed.
Does the species matter to you?
Yeah.
So what if you had this you wouldn't, but what if it was an elk tag?
Well, that's the thing though. I killed my moose with the 440 grain arrow.
Okay, fair enough.
But I had a fixed blade broadhead, and I shot that bull at 65 yards, and I could see the broadhead sticking out the other side of the moose. So it didn't go all the way through, but the broadhead was sticking out the other side, and that was plenty. That was a bear archery bow back in the day, so shooting 70 pounds.
Yeah,
and so it still worked for me.
Less energy than what you would be shooting out of this bow at the same specs.
Mm-hmm. So I think with all the technology nowadays too, like I don't fully back in the day believed in you need a super heavy arrow to kill all these animals. As long as you put it in the right spot.
Yeah, I don't think that you do.
Which someone might rip me right now, like, oh, you shoot a 300 round with 200 grain bullets. They talk about bigger is better, and now you're talking about bows, they kill differently.
It kills differently. Yeah, a broadhead tipped arrow kills by slicing, right?
Yep.
Versus shock, hemorrhagic shock. Yeah. Is that the word I'm looking for?
I think it is.
Yeah. What's interesting? One of the things that they proved out in that arrow study is I've been known to say this. So I've told people like, oh, anytime you get above like 300 and 310 feet per second, like if you're bumping up into those foot per second ranges, like your broadhead, your arrows, they just seem to get more finicky to tune, right? They're just not as forgiving or not as accurate. And that was one of the things that came out of that study, which was like I had to, eat some crow myself because I probably hadn't fully proved it out, right? Was that they proved that there's really no measurable distance in group size between a broadhead tipped arrow that's shooting like 320 feet per second versus one that's like shooting 290.
I think that was the thing when I shot bows back in the day. Everyone wanted to slow some of the bows down if they were too fast because it was more tunable.
I do think they're quieter. So like a heavier arrow,
quieter.
I think it's quieter, right? But I don't think that there is, at least they didn't prove out that there's any measurable difference in group size between something that's shooting really fast and something that's shooting like 280, 290, which is interesting. I do like these. I mean, if you look at them, it's a collar, right?
Yeah, it sleeves on there just a little bit.
They're a little short, but other than that, I don't think you're going to have any issues with them.
What would you suggest for gluing them in?
Oh, man, that's a hot one.
Because I've always just used like 2-part epoxy.
Okay, so everybody, I mean, people are going to tell you that you should use like hot melt glue, right?
I've never used hot melt glue.
Okay.
I don't even know how to do it.
Yeah, so there's the two that you see on the market. There's like the blue kind, and then there's this kind it's like the color of beeswax.
Yeah.
And you get it hot with the torch, you roll your insert in it, slide it in, you peel off the little excess. I think people use that because they get pretty good adhesion, and I think should anything happen to that insert and you want to replace it, or if you wanted to like change your alignment, right, the straightness of that insert to the arrow, you could heat it up and turn it and spin it and get it to align.
Or my 2-part epoxy, I literally have to melt that sucker down.
I'm not a fan. So I'll tell you what I use. Most people probably, I don't know if they would be into it or not, but I just use AAE Max Bond, which is the same glue that I use to glue my veins on. And I can tell you that since I started doing that, I do not lose inserts.
So it's just like a really fancy super glue.
It's like extra strength super glue. And, you know, when I build your arrows out, I take a Q-tip with acetone. I clean the inside of those out after I've cut them. You know, I wipe the ends of them really good. I clean the insert usually with acetone before I glue them in. I lay like 3 beads of that AE Max Bond, twist it in as you go. You know, I'm shooting those Easton inserts. Cool thing about those is they have like a rubber O-ring on them. And so I can shove that in and I can rotate it and spin the arrow as I'm rotating it before I glue them in.
Interesting.
To where they're perfectly aligned and they spin the best. Then I can take a Sharpie marker and I make a mark, and then before I glue that in, I just align that mark on the insert and the arrow, and as I turn that in, I hit that mark, and I can build, when I do that and I take my time, I can build 12 arrows, and I would say 9 of them are going to be just butter. I mean, just spin so clean. But that is one thing I like about those inserts that have that little silicone ring. But yeah, I use Max Bond, and the reason I use it is because I never, ever, nothing pisses me off more than an insert that pulls out in a target.
And you haven't had that?
Never.
Okay.
And it's twofold. You know, one of the things that really pisses me off is when somebody else does in a 3D target. And I shoot that into the target with my arrow, and I come along, and then I end up bending my insert or bending my filled tip. It really agitates me. When
you said that was called AAE Max Bond?
AAE Max Bond is what I use.
I'm writing notes on my phone right now.
Okay, but I will tell you, if you decide to use that, you're not getting those out.
Perfect.
Like, they're not coming out.
Perfect.
Sorry.
I also thought this was unique, too. This arrow is a lot slicker.
Yeah, it's got a coating on it, right?
Than anything I've ever used before.
So it's going to pull a little bit better. I like this is a 5 mil, right? Yeah, 5 mil arrow. So it's a little bit, it's kind of an in-betweener. Like your Gold Tip Pro Hunter, which everybody shot for years and years, is a 2.46 or a 6 mil diameter. And then you've got the 4 mil, which is what I shoot in those pierces. And this is a 5 mil. It's kind of an in-betweener.
And then the coating's not back here at all. Would you still... I've always rubbed acetone on mine. I think sometimes they tell you not to.
I still clean mine, yeah. I still do.
You take a SOS pad and like...
I don't ever do that. Nope. The only thing I do is I pull them out of the package and I take a T-shirt, just an old beat-up T-shirt. I soak it in acetone and I wipe the ends of those until it's clean. I'm not getting like any, smudges or anything like that on it.
Do you fully use acetone or do you use isopropyl alcohol?
I just use acetone.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know people have said over the time, like, oh, there's glues in those shafts, that acetone is going to break it down. I don't know if that is or is not the case. I can just say that I've never seen any, issue where I would be like, okay, oh, it was because of the acetone, right? What'd you pick out for veins and why?
Almost everything arrow set up here, broadhead base, is based on study with James Yates and Precision Cut Archery, all their arrow study.
Okay.
So I went ham on watching all those little videos, clicking all those little graphs, trying to learn
all
them.
The pictures.
They were kind of intimidating at first, like understand what was going on, but that website was actually super slick. So I picked up the DCA mini sabers.
Okay.
And
yeah, little fighter pilot veins.
They look sick.
What's funny? I don't like the look of them.
I love the look.
There's a lot of people that love to look at them. Like that's the draw to them.
Is there one that was set up over here?
I'm not a huge fan of the way they look, and not that like that would just like not make me use them. I just don't like the aesthetics of that vein. Yeah. But they did perform really well.
Yeah, they performed really well on that test.
Yep.
I think they probably weren't the quietest, but they were still really quiet. But they're going to steer it really well. And I've, 0.465 tall, 2 inches long, 6.1 grains, plus or minus 0.1, which I've always shot, way back in the day, they were called Norway Industries, and I switched over to Q2I.
Yep.
I've always shot those veins a lot. And the one issue I had, again, everything I'm saying is based on decades ago.
Right.
I always had a decade ago
at least. Yeah.
I always had a lot of weight variance between veins. Like I used to literally put them on a little crack scale, for better words, and weigh them all out individually and then sort them all. And I had like a big table of like whatever, 6.5, 6.6, 6.7, and like all the groups and like, make the bell curve of it. I would always grab the middle one. So there are always more in there, but I always had a lot of variance. So I'm interested to see when I actually weigh these out, if it's actually true, plus or minus 0.1 grains between all of these.
Sure. And it's a nice vein. I think they proved it out in the study. If you want to look at the results online at Precision Cut, I think they did really well. So are you going to do a 3 fletch or 4?
I've always done 4.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to do 3.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? The reason why I'm kind of wanting to switch is I hate freaking fletching.
Sure.
Fletch. It's just one extra per time. And as we know, when I psycho do these, I swear it takes me like 2.5, 3 hours to fletch a dozen arrows.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the arrow that I'm shooting now, so I'm shooting 3 UV vanes, and I shot 4 for a long time. The only reason I would consider going to a 4 fletch, I don't think that it's going to give you like any major advantage in your ability to like shoot more accurately. I think as long as you got like a decent helical, which when I say decent, I think these are like 2 or 3 degrees on my vanes, which I think is what they recommend. You're going to get plenty of, it's going to steer the arrow. Right? As long as you can shoot the arrow, it's going to do its job. The only reason I would consider going to a 4 fletch is that you have one more degree to noctune your arrow. So you can see in a 3 fletch, I've got 3 degrees essentially where I can turn that nock and shoot it through paper to see if I get a clean hole.
You would never turn it in between?
I would not. So
what's the reasoning behind that?
I don't know. I mean, it would probably be okay given the fact that it's a drop away arrow rest.
Because you didn't have enough clearance.
I'm just looking for the most clearance that I can get. And so ideally in a 3 fletch, I want a cock vein up and then 2 veins kind of sticking out. So in a 3 fletch, I've essentially got 3 degrees that I can turn that arrow to, shoot it through paper, and check if it gives me a perfect bullet hole. Whereas if I shoot a 4 fletch, I got 4 because I'm going to shoot it at if you imagine a 4 fletch, I'm going to shoot them like that. So I've got 4 different degrees that I can rotate that arrow. And normally I would never have like an issue even with 3. Like one of those veins in the up position is going to shoot a clean hole through paper. It's going to get me good results. Every once in a while, it might end up to where the cock vein is like straight down, and that shoots the perfect hole, and I'm going to have to end up stripping those if I really want to get crazy and refletching. I will tell you what I've done more recently is before I actually fletch my arrows, and it's not foolproof, but it's pretty damn close, is I will bare shaft tune every arrow. And then I will take a silver Sharpie and I will mark it. And then when I build my arrow, I will fletch cock vein on that silver Sharpie and then shoot it through paper again just to confirm it. And for the most part, that's going to save me. It almost perfectly works. Now, when you put veins on the back of your arrow, you are changing the spine because it's dynamic, right? But for the most part, it's pretty true. Like it's going to shoot a clean hole if it shot a bare shaft and then a fletch shaft.
So you're saying I shouldn't fully trust the spine aligned mark on these sick Victory HLRs?
That was actually interesting. I listened to a podcast the other day with George because George came out and said it was marketing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean to, hopefully I don't paraphrase this too. I don't butcher it too bad, but he basically came out and said, yeah, I think it's just like marketing, right? They're going to roll off and print a label. And I know that he took a phone call from somebody at the way up in Victory. And he said they actually do go through and
really,
they actually do check spine, like the way that it flexes on each individual arrow shaft. And then it drops a mark on it and then it rolls into a label printer. The printer recognizes that mark and it prints it with the line on it. So I would say they're doing as good as anybody is to actually spine align it.
Because I've never had that before, and that's why I used to float it all in the bathtub.
Okay. I have bought a dozen Victory arrows, which are spine aligned, right? You have the line on it, and I've fletched them accordingly, and I would say the bulk of the arrows will paper tune on that spine, but you will have a few that don't. So I would say it's pretty good. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
But if you're in a hurry and you don't really care, do it. The other interesting thing that George brought up, and this I've known this too. I talked to Henry Bass. Obviously, he way better shooter than I'll ever be. But I was talking to those guys about straightness, and they were like, yeah, straightness matters, but it doesn't matter as nearly as much as spine. Spine is like the thing that matters the most. Like, you want that bow and arrow combo to be working in conjunction with each other, and you want that arrow coming out as true as you possibly can. And spine is way more important than straightness. So you want to make sure that you nail the length and the spine. And as I said, it's dynamic, right?
Yeah.
Depends on what the components you put on it. What else you got? Would you end up on? We talked about stabilizer, but you didn't really tell me what lengths you're shooting and why.
Oh yeah, I'm shooting 15 front and 10 back. And I used to shoot a lot of weight on the back, so I have 2 things of 3 ounce for the bridge lock stabilizer. So I'll probably shoot 7 or 8 off the back and probably 2 or 3 off the front.
Okay.
And obviously I'm going to play around with it, but I used to shoot even more. I used to shoot like 16 ounces off the back on a hunting bow. Obviously on the Atlas, I did not do that. And I think I only have 4 or 5 off the back. But I want to play around with it a little bit and kind of figure out what that sweet spot is. I've always shot with the downturn front stabilizer. This one I'm going straight off based on your recommendation. You think it holds a little bit better? Because I do have a tendency to drop below.
Yeah, I think, at least for me, if you have a tendency to like dip bang, you're kind of dipping out the bottom, or you have a hard time just holding the pin in the middle and it kind of wants to bob out the bottom. I've had better luck with a straight mount than I have down disconnect.
And I do like the ability. Obviously, we talked on these are expensive.
They are expensive.
Yeah. But I can take a 15-inch bar and I could play around with it and adjust the length really easy, which I can't do on, a static length one that sticks off the front.
I know that when they originally launched, I was talking to Mark, he said that you could slide those in and out of the riser, and you could tune those to essentially create the best feel in terms of like feedback and then sound that the bow produces. I never did that because I don't really care that much about the sound that the bow is making. I think, when an animal jumps the string, it's not jumping the string. I think what it's jumping is your arrow coming at it. So I don't think that sound is like that big of a deal. And the thing I'm looking for is a bow that holds better. I would rather have a bow that holds better than it's quiet, right?
Yeah.
So I never really monkeyed around with it that much, but I have heard that you can really fine tune and get that thing like as dead in the hand as you want it, or as quiet as you possibly want, which I don't know that you'll play with, but it might be interesting for you if you want to.
That seems really easy to adjust. I just popped it off and
those
time it out without knowing what I'm doing.
Those little dovetails slide in and out. Sights. You want to talk about your sight real quick, and then we can build.
Yeah. So sight UV2 slider.
Okay.
Obviously this is Trails.
That one's mine. That's a loaner.
He's letting me borrow it for a little bit until I get mine in, and I am thinking of switching up completely everything I've ever done before when it comes to a bow sight. So I've shot single pin sliders forever.
Did you shoot that deer with a single pin?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Did you dial?
I dialed.
Okay, interesting.
So I've always shot single pin. I think it.
Did you ever have a situation where like a single pin hosed you?
Oh yeah.
You did?
Oh yeah. It's always in the heat of the moment. You range. Oh, I got to go dial. Oh, buck's moving again. Got to rearrange it. Got to redial. Kept moving around back and forth, always constantly.
Dude, I watched a YouTube video the other day. Same thing. This buck gets up. It's moving away from the dude. He ranges it. He dials. The buck kind of looks at him, turns, walks out a few steps. He ranges. He looks. He dials. The buck in the meantime takes 4 or 5 steps the other direction. It's like this constant cat and mouse of like range, dial, look, range, dial.
And then the problem I've had, and I do the same thing sometimes when I'm like on a rifle, if I hold over, I'd rather dial than hold over. I'm trying to change that because my natural point of aim, if I'm holding off an animal on a rifle scope and I'm dialing that crosshair, my mind naturally wants to bring it back over and shoot with it. And I kind of had that same thing when I have these single pins, because obviously this other one would have 2 up on the Fast Eddie. And this one obviously would be a 3 right now. They let me borrow. But even though I know I need to use my second pin on there, my mind gets all jacked up in that moment. And I naturally still want to put that top pin on it because that just seems like the right thing to do.
Really?
So the heat of the moment, I know I'm supposed to use the second pin, but I'll naturally drop it down because that looks so much more natural to use that top pin, because that's what I use all the time when I'm dialing.
Okay.
If I had a situation where I didn't dial, that's why now I'm thinking about doing either 3 to the side or 5 to the side. Horizontal. And I haven't done that ever. I'm trying to think of I think I had a 7 deadly pins way back in the day from Spot Hog, but instantly switched over And
Never done horizontal pins?
Never done horizontal pins.
Okay.
I even had a trophy ridge way back in the day that you could adjust individually,
Mm-hmm.
the right in the line vertically,
Yeah.
all the way down. So like I'm changing that up, and hopefully that, I don't know, will help me in some situations where, you know, I have a 20, 30, 40, or I have 20 to be 60 all the way down if I have the 5-pin orientation. And I've always been concerned too before, back in the day, of clutter. Like my mind gets, like I said, jacked up in the heat of the moment. And so I like the clarity I get with the single pin.
Yeah, which is one of the advantages of a single pin post is that you get a better field of view, right? You have left and right, whereas a horizontal pin, you're going to block off at least some of your field of view back to the right for a right-handed shooter.
Yeah.
I actually like it. And I've said this before, but one of the reasons I like a horizontal pin post that comes in from the side, whether it's like 3 or 5, and I like 5, I actually like the clutter. It's like it blocks out a whole half of a field of view that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, you just got to focus on what you need to
it's
focus
like
on.
if that buck is standing head to the right, or head, you know, he's got his head to my right essentially, and I've got these horizontal pins that are coming in from the right. It's like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All those pin posts are blocking out the shoulder that I don't want to hit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of calms me down a little bit.
And I think too, like in those situations where if I did have a buddy next to me calling out ranges, if I came to full draw and I had 5 pins, obviously if I didn't, you know, slide it or anything yet, and a buck's at 30 yards, I was like, oh, buck jumps out and runs and stops, and got some buddy saying, oh, 55.
You don't have to rearrange a dial.
I could kill that deer.
Yeah, you can just pin gap it.
Yeah.
And that's why I like a multi-pin. That's why I like a 5-pin. I won't hunt with anything but a 5-pin sight, because it just, there's so many situations, whether it's mule deer or elk, where they just move. And if you're constantly like ranging and then dialing, you're adding more movement and sound and just more anxiety, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, I've got to dial that thing to 52 yards. Whereas if you've got, you know, 5 pins and you've got a 50-yard pin and a 60-yard pin, you're like, oh, I'm just going to draw and pin gap it and kill him, right? So that's always made more sense to me.
I have pre-apologized to you because I said I might trade you for a 3-pin horizontal.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, why 3 or 5? I know 3. I would say 3 is probably the most popular right now.
Really?
I think most people are getting a 3-pin sight because it's like the best of both. They get a bigger field of view and they have 3 distances. And I would say most people are probably setting them up at like, you know, 20, 40, 60, something like that. But then to me, those pin gaps between 20 and 40 are big enough, or 40 and 60, they're big enough. They're like not quite as precise enough. Like I really like I like those extra pins. I want to dumb it down so much that like I don't have to think that much. Like 50, 52 yards. Okay, I've got a 50-yard pin.
And that's why I think I was going to accept the 5-pin version, because going back to this, knowing all the struggles I had back in the day, the mental side of it that just totally effed me up after losing that big deer, I think I just need to simplify everything. I think a 5-pin might help me just calm everything down, know I can kill an animal, not have to worry about, oh, I got to redial.
I've talked to people that say they think 5 pins is like more confusing. They're like, oh, there's 5 pins. You know, how do I know which one to use in the moment?
And I'm like, colorblind.
Yeah, that would be
so
hard.
I really, if I look out and they're different colors, I can't tell, oh, that's a red one, that's my whatever pin. Like they all look the same to me. So
that's a unique challenge I'd never thought of.
Yeah, so I have to, 5-pin's going to add more counting. Oh, 2 up from the bottom, blah, blah, blah. Or
have you ever done anything to like label the pins?
No. Like guys put like little marks next to it or whatever.
Yeah, dot.
Yeah,
like one dot.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I don't know. Some way there's
some like nail polish or whatever.
Yeah, some whiteout.
Yeah.
There's some way that you could distinguish between your pins so that you would know it instantly.
And
my answer to people that have told me that, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's part of the process, and it's like you have to talk yourself through that. To me, it's actually a good thing because I know I have to talk myself through that. Like range, 43 yards. Okay, pins, 20, 30, 40. It's like part of the process to talk myself through. And I think as you work through it, you actually calm down because you're working through a process versus just like scatterbrain. Like, oh shit, I got to get this arrow going, you know? Yeah, that's why I like 5.
Yeah, but I'm excited for the UV slider too.
Yeah.
Like obviously I could use my Fast Eddie.
Sure.
It was great for a lot of years, but like I've been looking at these for so long and they seem so simple, so well built.
Yeah, the ergonomics are
customizable,
unmatched.
like just simple.
Mm-hmm. And it probably weighs half
Yeah.
of what your Fast Daddy
Exactly.
XL.
And then having the bridge lock, be able to shove that right in there.
Yep.
Mount that where I want to, 2 different positions.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
You got 2 holes to mount to. You're a guy, I was looking at your site, like you run that thing quite a long ways out.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to anymore. Obviously, I can't as far, but like I think I might shove it in so I don't see a lot of that more perceived movement.
The other thing you do is the closer that you push that into the riser, the more distance you would be able to get. So the further out that you push it, those pin gaps are you can't get as much distance out of
So
it.
you say I can't shoot 150 anymore?
You might not. You might actually. I would actually bet you could. Like if you shoot a 5-pin sight and you use your bottom pin as your floater at your draw length and that arrow weight, you might get 150 if you wanted to. You'd be really close.
Yeah. I used to practice at 100 all the time. That was my jam.
Mm-hmm. I think I was, you can see mine. I was shooting yesterday morning. Mine's at 100.
Trail.
I went up and shot for probably an hour. All I did was just shoot 100 yarders for kicks and giggles.
Dropping bombs.
Yeah, you find out about how good your form is when you, and not that I want to shoot anything at 100. I was actually thinking yesterday, like, what is my effective distance, right? So this is like a common question, and it's something like I'm trying to tighten up. I think mine's like 70, I would say. 80, my group started to open up to a point where I'm like not 100% confident. 70, I feel really good about, but that's something you'll have to find out for yourself.
Yeah, it's time.
Cool.
The only other one thing I want to talk about,
Yeah.
we can maybe start moving the bow around and start doing some tuning. But like I am, I am switching.
And we didn't talk broadheads either.
Yeah, I'm switching releases.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been either a thumb button or a hinge person. I can shoot a hinge really, really well. I shoot the tension release phenomenally because of my past issues of target panic and everything. But I'm thinking I'm going back to
why?
Just wrist strap.
Why? You're going old school.
I know. I think
Cam Haynes won you over.
Yeah, just going back to the basics. I think.
I think at one point he said like, if you're a hunter and you don't shoot a wrist strap, like what kind of dumbass are you?
That sounds like him.
Yeah. And to his point, I understand why he said it. Yeah. If I could shoot one well, if I wasn't such a head case,
and I think that
I probably would.
And I think because I am such a head case when it comes to bows and my past issues, that this will make it simpler. I'm used to pressing a trigger all the time, but I still obviously want to shoot it with back tension. So it was like,
you've probably shot 100,000 more rounds through your rifle since then, right?
Yeah.
Like you've become much more accustomed to pressing a trigger.
Yep. So when I was talking to you yesterday, I totally forgot that Stan the Solex has a clicker now.
Yeah.
So I was kind of intrigued on that, and obviously I was watching a bunch of Joel's videos about the clicker benefit. So
you went with the Solex clicker.
Solex clicker with the web.
Yep, web design kind of flops out of the way when you don't need it, which is kind of nice. And this is the only release that I'm aware of that's an index where it has a click in it, which means you pull, you like execute some tension on it. Mm-hmm. It's going to make a slight audible click, which is like your sign, hey, we're ready, we're getting close. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of relax into it, pull through it, and execute the rest of your shot. And that's the only index finger release that I'm aware of that has a click in it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try it. And it's a pretty good price point, too.
Yeah, what, 119?
Yeah, 119, something like that.
Yeah,
it's not like it's stupid expensive. I was looking at the Carter releases, but like, obviously I have tons of thumbs to go back to, hinges to go back to.
Yeah, you dive into these. So button 2, hinge 3 just launched.
That's a hinge 3?
That's a hinge 3, brand spanking new. I actually have one in an XL if you want to play with it.
It's in my pocket now.
That's a like a medium, small medium, and then they have a large, extra large.
Yeah, it's a little tight for my big
Yeah,
hands.
for your hands, but I have an XL if you want to tinker with it and see what you think. But I was interested in your release choice. I think it'll be good for you, to be honest.
I think so. Like I said, I'm kind of dumbing it down, and if I keep shooting well, maybe I'll switch over. But I'm shooting well, I'm not going to change it. So
no, you might as well keep it.
Keep it. So.
I was telling you yesterday, I saw a good tip I wanted to pass along. So Alan Bolin on Instagram, he shoots an index finger release, and I think most of us that do, if you want to hand it to me, I thought this was really actually kind of a cool tip and a cool idea. So most people that shoot an index finger release, they're basically laying their finger over on this side of the trigger and using that to activate. As you find your anchor point with that, you can kind of see you've got this angle on your finger in your hand. What he was saying he does, I'd be interested if you try this, is he shoots it with his bird finger,
Flipping the bird?
Yeah, he basically extends that thing over the trigger here, and he takes this finger, which lines up nice and straight now to your anchor point, and he basically pulls through and relaxes with his bird finger to execute that shot. So it's like a different way to shoot an index finger release, and I like the idea of being able to have straighter alignment with that pointer finger. So I'll be interested to see if you shoot that.
Try that. And I just like that one rather than the post because it allows me to do adjusted in infinite different lengths if I need to move it shorter or longer.
Yep.
And like you're saying too, it'll flop out of the way and kind of tuck underneath my shirt if I need to and not just be hanging out the whole time.
Open hook.
Open hook, quick and easy.
Should be really quick and dirty to attach to a D-loop.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and then broadhead.
Man, not much to that thing.
No, there is.
It's tiny.
Tiny.
Does not, I mean, it is teeny.
Yeah.
Broadheads. What did you decide on broadheads?
I went with the Beast 2.0 titanium.
Okay.
Mechanical. I've just watched a lot of videos, and I do like the technology of the broadhead, how it's designed, how it functions, how it works.
Did you mostly back in the day hunt with a fixed blade?
I hunted with fixed blades for quite a long time, and then I switched to Rage and went ham on whitetail does, shooting
with rages?
Rages, lots of does with rages. And then I kind of switched over to, back in the day, the Ulmer Edges, shot a lot of those. Shot a lot of, whatever it was, the G5 expandables back in the day.
Dead meat?
I can't remember what they were. They were old school. We're talking 20 years ago.
Gotcha.
And then I shot a lot of Rage tripans as well.
So
I've always been a fan of mechanicals, and I like how these deploy and just how sharp they are and seem really accurate based on some of those tests again, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I packed one around in my quiver last year, and I shot a lot in the summer, and I would say it was pretty accurate, like flew great. It's funny because I was shooting it, and I thought audibly, I thought it was like a little bit louder than my Severs. And then I was asking my brother, and I think he said, yeah, it does sound maybe a smidge. I don't think it's like anything drastic by any means. Giant hole and super sharp. The other issue I had potentially is that I have one that I would sit at my desk and I would pop it open and close it, pop it open like a fidget, you know, which
dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous. Don't recommend it. But if I put that one on an arrow in my quiver, it would occasionally open up on it, and I think it was just because I was constantly screwing with it. So other than that, though, awesome head, good choice. Yeah, should blow a giant hole in a mule deer.
They are expensive.
Broadheads are expensive across the board now.
What's going on?
Dude, I don't know. But you look at iron wheels, those are expensive. The new speed broadheads are,
I was looking at those quite a bit.
Those are expensive. Severs aren't cheap by any means. I mean, I think materials have gotten better. I think the tech has gotten better. And then, I don't know, broadheads are just expensive, man.
Yeah, I've always liked expandable broadheads on mule deer, and not to blame the broadhead or anything, but that deer I did lose, that 2015 deer, I switched back over to fixed blade for whatever stupid reason. So in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, what would have happened?
Do you know what broadhead you're shooting?
I think it was the Trokar from Muzzy.
Muzzy Trokar.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old 3-blade where the blades are kind of offset. Yep. Interesting.
So I don't know. I don't know why I switched it for that hunt. I have no recollection of that, but I did. And my thought is, what if I had a lot more cutting diameter? Yeah,
I mean, and then they proved out with the study they're just more forgiving. You'll
Montec G5 one.
Oh yeah, the group was large. You'll never know if that was you.
I know.
Or I mean, ultimately it was you, but
once the arrow's gone, you can't take it back.
But you don't know if maybe a different equipment choice would have offered you a little bit more grace. Yeah, fascinating.
But yeah, that's the setup.
I like it. We didn't talk mods. What did you decide you're going to shoot?
85% A mod.
Okay.
70 pounds.
85%, 70. Why not 75 or 80?
I'm just easing myself back in.
Okay. Why not 65?
Probably should, because I'm dealing with some lower back issues right now.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I was telling Brady he needs a deep tissue massage.
Which I'm scared.
What are you scared of?
I've done one massage.
Are you afraid that there's going to be a dude in there and he's going to be your masseuse?
I did one massage once on family vacation in Mexico, and I was so sore for 3 days afterwards and hated it.
You were sore after the fact?
Yeah.
They got in there good and deep then?
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, but you probably didn't have
feels-
a problem that you were trying to fix.
No, I wasn't. And it just feels awkward to me.
What, you just getting
Someone else touching me.
naked?
Yeah, that part too. That's the big part.
I was telling Brady, it's like I've had two like lower back issues in my life ever, and I have no idea why or what happened. One of them was right before a New Mexico elk hunt, which I'm going on again this year. I walked into that place like last ditch. I'm like, I need some help, and dude, I walked out of there a brand new man.
Yeah.
I'm talking brand spanking new. Walked in there, been over there like I was a 50-year-old man with lower back issues. Walked out just tall.
And I should probably go get looked at because I haven't ran in a week and it's driving me crazy.
You should go get it done. Swallow your fears, Brady.
Yeah.
Embrace a new experience.
I should.
Cool. Should we bolt this thing together
Let's
a little
do it.
bit?
Let's do some stuff on here. Get her slightly tuned up. I'll
Okay.
probably ask you random things while you're doing it because
So what are you going to do first when you build a bow, B-Mills? What's your attack plan?
it's been 12 years.
Well, you remember. You still got it.
I do. I have tuned bows since then. I mean, I would mount a rest. I would mount.
Yep, that's it. That's what I'd do. I'd mount my rest first.
How do we mount the rest? Do we have any?
So grab that bad boy.
They don't come with Allens anymore?
I don't think so. I think you have to have your own.
Gosh. Good thing we do have our own.
It's like, what's that game? The one where you spin the
bottle?
Nope, not that one. That one's more fun than the one I'm thinking of. Russian roulette.
Oh, Russian roulette.
Yeah, Russian roulette. We're trying to find the right Allen wrench.
How much do I have to loosen this bad boy trail?
Not that much. So do you see the two lines?
Yeah.
Yep, so that's a good starting point. I just line those up.
Okay, there we go.
And you may end up moving it up or down. When you mount a rest, like whether you mount the QAD or you mount a Hamskea, it'll have a line and indicator on it, and then there's a line indicated on the riser of a Matthews bow, and you can like line those two up.
Would you say it's safe to just hover the burger hole? I used to go a little bit above.
I would say it's just a reference point.
Yeah.
Yep. So bolt that on.
How tight? I'm used to torque wrenches on rifles.
I wouldn't tighten it super tight because you might end up wanting to
move it
a little bit maybe.
Okay, got that done.
Got that on.
Wow, we're done.
Yeah, that was easy, huh? After that, I would probably work on your knocking point.
Okay.
Would be what I would do. And you want to change your mods, right?
Yeah, we want to change mods. Should we do that first?
Yeah, you can do that first. So you just need an Allen wrench. And one little tip I will give you is on a Matthews bow, actually any bow for that matter, they designed the screws that go into the mods and into the cam to strip out before the threads in the cam strip out.
Okay.
And I have stripped out many mod screws trying to over tighten them, which then requires me to press the bow, pull the cams, and drill them out and then tap them and pull those out and replace those screws. And I've been able to save every cam, but you want to be really careful when you put those new mod screws in. You don't have to tighten them that tight. They do have Loctite on them, that blue Loctite. So as you screw them in, basically I just go past like finger tight. I don't get like crazy with them because it is a major pain in the butt.
Like someone went crazy with this Allen.
That one's probably mine. Maybe.
Let's hope that's not the size.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can pull those out.
Oh, geez.
What happened?
This is going to be a different size that we don't have available, and that's that stripped out one.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah,
So you just pull those off.
That's one. Very tight.
That is one nice thing about most of these modern bows is that you can change your draw length. The cool thing about Matthews is that you can change your draw weight, your draw length, and your let off all with a mod.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and you never have to touch your limb bolts. You can leave your limb bolts maxed in, which is where the bow's going to operate most efficiently, is my understanding. And then you could just simply replace a mod. So like my bow, if I wanted to shoot 55 pounds at my draw length and 85% let off, I could do that with just a mod swap. And everything else would stay the same, which is pretty cool.
It is pretty slick. All right, we're working our way through.
What are the questions you got about setting your bow up?
Let's talk soft knocks in the D loop.
Okay.
What's your thoughts there nowadays compared to what I potentially did back in the day?
What have you done back in the day?
I used to do different knots on the top versus the bottom to try to center it more.
You mean just
Full draw.
numbers or?
Yeah, so I think I was doing 2 or 3 knots on the top and more and more on the bottom.
Yeah, I would say that still tracks. Yeah, the way that you're going to pull back and where the torque is, you want to have more knots below your D loop than you do above. There's a lot of people, I think Levi, I think Brady, if I've been paying attention, I know Levi used to anyway, they would never do a top soft knot. They would basically just use the top of the D loop for, that top portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it matters that much. I've done both. I haven't really had any issues tuning, or couldn't say that like one is more accurate than the other. On the bow I've got right now, I've got a top knot and a soft knot on the bottom. So, and just like you're saying, I've usually done like 5 knots maybe below and like 3 above, and then tied my D loop. D loop material, I know that everybody, like if you go to an archery shop, most of them are using BCY number 24, which is like that stiffer D loop material. And I remember when we opened the archery shop and we had Cody Frick here, I was talking to him and I said, hey, I mean, you can buy 24, but that 23 material from BCY is a superior material. It's like a little bit more pliable and soft, which to me makes sense because as you tie your D loop on, and if you're using a release in your hand, and I don't care if you're using an index release or a thumb button release, you're going to induce some torque into that, right? That D loop. So to me, it makes sense that the more pliable that D loop material is, the less likely you are to induce torque into your string at full draw.
Mm-hmm.
And so that number 23 BCY, I think, is where it's at. And then, normally I run my D loop. It depends. Like you can play with the length of your D loop to get the best, most, secure draw, the best aim, if you will.
Yeah.
But mine are typically like 3/4 of an inch, I would say. Probably somewhere in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I want it long enough that I can kind of take some of the torque out of the position of my hand, but I don't want it so long that I'm like awkward with it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I would suggest on a D loop.
Okay.
The other thing about D loops I would tell you, and it depends on, how geeky you want to get and how much time you got, but I went last year through an exercise where when I set my bow up, I did not do soft knots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just tied a D loop on it and bare bow in my basement, and I would just walk my D loop up and down my center serving, like micro amounts, like maybe less than a 16th of an inch at a time, right? And I would draw back and I would aim. So I had a sight on my bow. Other than that, it was bare bow. And I would just aim at a dot on my target and just kind of take note of how well it held. And I think if you want to do that, I think you can find like the most optimal spot to where it tends to hold the best for you.
Interesting.
And I would say it's not everything, but it's just like another little tiny piece of the puzzle, which I felt like helped me.
Mm-hmm.
After I've built a few more bows since then, what I found and what I used to do is I would measure exactly halfway between axles. So I would measure exactly halfway, and that's where I would knock my arrow, right? Like I would center the arrow at that point exactly halfway between the cams.
Mm-hmm.
And then now kind of where I've landed is I like my arrow to sit maybe a 16th to an 1/8 inch above center. And that's, for me at least, where it tends to aim the best.
Okay.
And you can use your rest at that point, move it up or down to tune the arrow, like the vertical part of the arrow. Like if you look at my bow, with my arrow knocked, it's 90 degrees from the string, but it sits higher in the burger hole than you might think. And that, it used to be like back in the day when you would tune a bow, everybody wanted their arrow to sit like perfectly level through the burger hole, right?
Yeah.
And That's just a reference. Like it's a loose reference. Like it can sit high, it can sit low. Ultimately, you can tune that out. Not a big deal at all. Really, the thing that matters to me most is like how does it hold? And I've found that it's like that 1/16 of an inch to maybe an 1/8 of an inch, slightly knock high and then leveled out at 90. And then we would use your cam timing, obviously, to time it so that they're coming back dead nuts.
You're just dropping bombs right now.
Well, I've tinkered around a lot with them. What else do you have? Oh, grip. So I was going to ask you about your grip.
Yeah.
What did you land on grip? What do you like and why?
I've always liked a little wider flat grip on the back. I don't like the rounded corners. I've obviously used tennis wrap before. I've used all sorts of other things, but I just really, really enjoyed having just a flat, square surface.
Just more surface area on your palm?
Yep.
Kind of.
So I've always had that. Where's my grip at? Right here. I didn't know if it was going to fit, and you said it's going to.
Yep. So that's a Be Real grip?
Yeah. It's old. Obviously,
yeah, check those out.
Custom.
See, we have custom Be Real grip.
Yeah, he did that for us way back in the day. That was super. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I'm popping this little guy out, saving weight in my bow.
Okay. You're worried about what? Less than an ounce? You're going to take that little guy out?
And why would I have that in there if it's doing nothing?
I don't know. The way that these grips pop on and off so easy, you could use that like as a little stash, you know? You could put something in there.
Pyro putty?
Yeah. There you go.
So that should slap right back on, eh?
Yeah. I think it just pops right in. It should fit.
Oh.
Like a glove.
Like a glove.
Like a glove.
Dude, that looks sick. It looks like it's matched colorway.
Yeah, it does. And it has the GOHUNT logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does feel pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like that. So you got your mod swapped out.
Yep. Got one more screw. Started to sweat and getting all...
Well, we got that light on in here.
I know,
why not 80% let off versus 85?
Gosh, Trail. I've just shot 85 for a while on some of my older bows and kind of just, I don't know. I like it. I have no opinion back and forth, but here's what I had, what I used. So give me your thought process on 80 or 85.
Yeah. I like an 80%, and maybe even like a smidge more holding weight. I think one of the reason is it just gives me something to pull into, so I can use the leverage of my rhomboids and then, you know, my bow arm, get it nice and aligned and straight, and I can like pull into that.
Yep.
And it helps steady my bow, I feel like. Whereas like more let off, I feel like I can get a little static in my shot. It doesn't seem to hold as steady for me. One of the advantages of those, like more let off, if you think about a situation where you have to hold on an animal for a long time, it's definitely advantageous for that because you're holding less holding weight. But I just think an 80% or even lower can be a little bit more accurate because I have something more to pull into.
Gotcha.
But it does take time to get used to. Yeah, I had Calvin at my house 2 weekends ago, and I was setting his bow up, and I had suggested an 80% let off, and I got that one on there, and he pulled it back, and I thought, it'll be fine for him. And, the first few times he shot that bow, like you could definitely see that, like, it was wanting to jump out of his hand, and he's just not used to it, and most people aren't. It takes some time to grow into if you're going to go with less holding weight.
Yep.
But I do think it can be advantageous, but it's going to take like a little bit of work. Cool. So next what I would do is I would just take it out and I would put it in this little press so that you can, use it for a workstation, essentially. Hold it.
So you can use it as a workstation.
I was going to let you do it, big dog.
No, I'm not tying anything right now.
You're not?
Dude, it's been so long. I'd have to watch like 6 YouTube videos.
Yeah, and these Matthews, like when you buy them, I was showing you earlier today, and if you remember probably some of the older bows, if you look at the cam, they've got a hole, essentially, right, which is like a timing hole. And on the new arcs, they've got one for the 30 and one for the 34. And it doesn't really matter that much where that cable passes through that hole. really what you're looking for is both of those to be relatively the same on both ends. And we'll throw that in a draw board once we get it set up to check your cam sync and make sure that those are dead nuts. But they can be like a little bit either way. Like yours, when I was looking at it today, you're trying to get a little bit more draw length out of it, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at that, you've probably got, the way that this one came from factory, you've probably got an extra 1/8 of an inch, I would say, of draw length. And that's the other thing about working on your bow. I tell people this all the time. It can be really intimidating, but if you want to know like what twisting a cable or twisting a string is going to do, the easiest thing is to just grab it and pull on it. So as I grab that and pull on it, which would mimic me twisting that up, making it shorter, I can see what that does to the cam, right? So if I wanted to bring this cam back out, I could add twist. If I wanted to bring it in and really line that straight up through that hole, I could let some out. So that's the easiest thing. Just grab a hold of it and like give it a, like, oh, if I twist that up, it's going to move the cam that way.
Makes sense. Wow.
It's way easier than people think. Cool. So let's, what I'm going to do is I just measure it out.
Okay.
So I'm going to go exactly, you're going to be 29 3/4. So we're going to divide that by 2.
Okay.
You got a calculator handy because my math skills are not that good. So 29 3/4. Is that what I said?
Yep, 29 3/4.
Okay. Okay. 29. It's going to be such fascinating listening. I'm trying to think if we keep doing this. Should we just build it out?
Maybe we should build it out.
Okay. We could
What other tech tips would we talk about before we wrap up the podcast on what we're about to do and why?
Yeah, because we're gonna get nerdy here.
Yeah. Just to kind of like wrap it up.
Wrap it up with a bow. Yeah, because it's hard to talk your whole way through it while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Other tech tips. So limb shift. We should definitely talk about that. You're gonna tune out your left and rights.
That's totally different. I'm used to top hats.
In essence, yeah. With top hats, is the exact same thing. The nice thing about this is you don't have to remove the cam every single time and replace the spacers between the cam and the limb. What's really nice about it is you just chase your miss. So if we shoot this through paper and we've got a right tear, we're going to move the cam right. And you just basically pop this in screw out. There's a threaded insert that you put an Allen wrench in, and there's a little bit of a window here, and you just turn it left or right, and you just chase your paper tear. The thing that's really cool about limb shift is that you don't have to do anything really with your rest left and right at all. I just leave that dead center where it's running right down the middle of the grip, and I can tune out any of my left-right misses with limb shift. So that's really handy. You know, we're chasing a bullet hole, which we'll get here in a minute. I already talked to you a little about where I like my knocking position, which is like a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch knock high.
Yep. Are we worried anything about cam lean on these new setups, or is it pretty much spot on?
So basically, I mean, if I really wanted to get it close before using limb shift, I could take an arrow and I could lay it down the side of the cam and see where that arrow lays in proximity to the string. Yep. And I would just want to
full draw.
I just do mine at rest, and I get it close, and then I let the paper tell me what to do next.
Gotcha.
And you can micro tune. That's what's cool about limb shift, is that you can micro tune. You know, you can use the top and the bottom cam, and you can really get, you can get crazy. Like if you want to dive down rabbit holes with bear shaft tuning. So if you want to paper tune this bow and then you want to go out to like 40, 50 yards and shoot bear shafts with your fletch shafts to see if, that those are impacting the exact same point, and then use your limb shift to chase those, you can do that if you want. It just depends on like how deep down you want to get.
Yep, I do.
For me, okay, fair enough. What I do for tuning is I paper tune. So I'll paper tune and I'll get that shooting perfect bullet holes through paper. I'll go out and I'll shoot with it at the practice range, see how it groups, see how it does. If it looks like it's doing pretty good, I'll throw a fixed blade broadhead and I'll back up to 50, 60 yards and I'll watch my rights and lefts and just see what it looks like. And really that's what I'm looking for, is if it'll shoot a fixed blade broadhead with my filled tips out to 60, 70, 80 yards. And there might be some difference like on the vertical, but the left and right, if it'll shoot groups with my filled tips, I've got a pretty damn good tune on that bow, and it's going to shoot mechanicals flawlessly. Yeah, it's going to be great. So I don't get too crazy. I used to I used to like to tinker with walk back tuning
Mm-hmm.
and, all the things, right? Bare shaft tuning. But basically all I do now is I paper tune and I go to broadheads and shoot broadheads.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a killer setup. I would not be surprised if we get this thing built out and you're shooting, like I said, maybe 305 feet per second at a 450 grain arrow.
Yeah.
Any other questions you had before we dive in?
No, that'd be pretty much it. Just setting the knocking point, getting all that dialed, and then some more advanced stuff. Like I said, I'd really want to see the limb shift, how that works. I'm very foreign to that. Never done that before.
Yep.
And then just playing around.
What are you most looking forward to? Like, how does this play out for you? We build out this bow. You get time behind it. You've got some time between now and September when
Yep.
you'll be bow hunting.
We're gonna go to TAC in a couple weeks.
We're going to go to TAC. We'll be TAC in Utah. We'll have a booth, you and me. We get to September. What does this look like for you? Like, paint me the picture.
Painting the picture. That
Let's-
ideal situation.
Let's put this out into the ethos.
Yeah, ideal
Let's
situation.
manifest it.
Yep. Ideal situation. Show up where I'm gonna go hunt. Shoot a bunch of awesome arrows into a target. Just feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
Just dialed. Everything's still the same. Multiple days of looking at bucks, putting on some rough stocks, just practice. I need some practice.
Mm-hmm.
And ideal situation, have a buck bedded in a nice little coulee, doesn't know we're there, come up from behind him, get all the time in the world, just bedded, looking away.
How big is he?
He's at least 196.
Okay.
196 with some trash.
I like the specificity.
Yes.
196.
196. You don't want to go throw a 200-inch number out there, but I want.
You don't? Oh, I
No,
definitely
no,
do.
Not right.
I'm trying to throw that
I got to
out
keep
there.
my mental game going first, get really confident. But a good, solid deer, like
I saw something the other day. The unit that I have in southern Utah.
Yeah.
Some other dude was doing a Q&A and they said, "What do you think about this unit? Is there a 200-inch mule deer?" And the individual said, "There is definitely a 200-inch mule deer." And it was funny because I don't think that person actually knows, but
Funny.
that lit a fire under my ass to be
I'm
like,
gonna find one.
yeah.
So yeah, I just want a buck bedded, looking away. I want that 38 to 42 yard shot, just something nice and easy, not too close to the deer where he gets a little bit nervous. All the time in the world, range, get everything dialed, get back down, calm on my knees.
You can shoot him from your knees.
Yeah, shoot from my
Okay.
knees.
All right.
Come to full draw, lean up and over.
Is he going to stand up or are you shooting him in his bed?
I'll shoot him in his freaking bed, man.
You like
I don't. Whatever we need to do.
Okay, fair enough.
If he stands up, I'll let him stand up. But if he wants to bed down, he can do whatever he wants to do. Just don't move.
Do you have distances? Do you remember when you shot a lot that you were like, that is my favorite distance? It just seems like I can't miss.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
It's like in that lower 40s, mid 40s. It's like all day, every day. Just smack, smack, smack.
We have a target at my local range that's like 46 yards. Yeah. It's it's 45 or 46 depending on where you stand, but it's a black bear target.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 weeks, I would say, like I cannot miss. I mean, I'm 12 every single time. Like when I get to the range in the morning, I'm thinking about that target before I get to it. As I roll up to it, I'm just like, this is definitely a 12. I'm smashing this 12.
I'm already looking forward to belly crawling. I miss those days belly crawling, putting your bow out in front.
Oh, yeah.
Put the bow out in front. Just trying to get that right to that edge. Come to full draw, watch that arrow just spin perfectly right into the spot I was aiming. Hearing that sound again, too.
Yep.
I miss that sound.
Oh, yeah. Sucking sound. It's kind of a thwop with a sucking sound at the end of it.
Yep. Have a camera guy, hopefully not right off my shoulder, but somewhere nearby capturing everything on film.
Yeah. One other tip that I picked up the other day from George, he was talking about follow through, and essentially what he was saying was you want to keep that pin on your point of impact as long as you possibly can. So that's what I've been working on like the last week is follow through. I think it's you pay so much attention as I'm shooting at the range to all the other things, like alignment and, if you're shooting uphill or downhill, like getting your shoulders aligned. And I think about release execution a lot because I think that's been one of my shortfalls over the years is like actually being able to execute the release. But I haven't really given a lot of just specific time and focus to follow through. And I've been doing that last week and I feel like it's made a big difference.
I like that.
So
that's
a final tip. Well, cool, man. I'm so excited for you.
Like I said, I haven't felt this way in a while. And I think it's the right time in my life to jump back into it, not rushing it. I like that it's a short window per se, 2 months to get ready.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of time.
Plenty of time, and I'm going all in right now. Once I get this thing set up, I have all weekend, 4th of July weekend, start shooting, getting it ready, and gosh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really stoked to see what you do with it.
I'm really excited for the next 30 minutes when we get a D-loop put on here, and I can draw back too. I mean, obviously I don't have my arrows built, so I can't launch one, but maybe I can find some arrow that might.
You can shoot mine, maybe.
Yeah, just to see what that arrow feels like.
Yeah,
going through this new bow. Like I haven't shot one of these.
You haven't?
I haven't shot any of the new bows.
Yeah.
Ever.
You're going to feel a tremendous amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to feel way more dead in the hand than your Atlas, which isn't necessarily, good nor bad, but it's going to be quieter. It's definitely going to be faster. It's going to be a lot smoother, more dead in the hand. And it'll be lighter.
Oh, it's so much lighter.
It's going to be a lot lighter in your hand.
It's like a boat anchor.
For sure. It'll definitely be lighter, which I think you'll appreciate. So I think we'll wrap it up. I think I thought we'd be able to talk this through as we built it, but I don't know, man. I'm not that good of a communicator where I can talk and work at the same time. So I think we'll wrap it up. I would say if you got questions, shoot us
comments
a question.
Comments on Spotify, wherever you have it. Also be looking out for that bow build we did with Jess Lauder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a full build for Jess when she was here, where if you want to see it, you can definitely see exactly how I would build out a bow. I do the same thing for Brady, but yeah. Any other tips or tricks or questions, I'd say drop them in the questions below.
Yeah, it's also weird to me too, Trail, because I've never had another dude tune my bow for me.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. That's why I want you to do it.
I kind of want you to do it. I kind of want to manifest this good juju that you have going for you. I'm Mr. Bow Hunter himself. To touch my bow, work on it. That way I know it's not me. I can blame it on you.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. No, I'm just a guy that likes shooting bows and arrows at animals. So, yeah, I mean, I will if you want me to, but I would certainly.
No, I'll help dive in with you.
I'd be okay.
I want to learn some new things from you, and then.
Okay, I can tell you how I do it, and then if you want to change it, you can change it.
Yeah, I saw something you were doing the other day about waxing something when you're using your soft knocks. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean to me that's a no-brainer. When you're gonna
I've never waxed it. You had some little thing you were doing.
Yeah, you just take a piece of wax and you take your serving and you run it through it to get it nice and coated with wax. And what that allows me to do is I tie my soft knots. When you tie that first overhand, you bind down into it, that wax causes it to bite versus relaxing, right? So you don't have to constantly keep all the tension in it as you do. So I don't know, there's so many little tips and intricacies of setting up a bow that I've kind of worked out over the years. I mean, even the way that I like to tie my D-loop or my peep sight in, it's just the way that I do it and it takes me a long time. Essentially what I do is serve the whole thing in, up one side and down the other, and then back serve it going up to it. To me, it looks really clean, and then ultimately the thing I'm looking for is just for it not to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see mine. I did mine with white, so it blends in. But yeah, we're gonna build Brady's bow out. That'll be the podcast for the week. Like I said, if you got questions, drop them in the comments below. Hopefully you got something. Bow season will be here before you know it. I was looking at the calendar. I'm 6 weeks from being full tilt. I'm gonna run out this weekend and spend most of the weekend scouting. Since we can't do fireworks on the 4th of July, it's burning down. I figure I might as well go look for big deer. So
ban fireworks.
Huh?
What's this ban fireworks? They're so dumb.
I mean, they're cool, but I also
hate what they do to the environment when you have idiots out there drinking adult beverages. Kids losing their fingers.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to ban them for a year, this seems like the year.
Maybe it's just because I'm getting old.
Yeah, I mean, that fire north of my house there, it's going to hit 100,000 acres. I think I saw today it was 4% contained, and you're 96,000 acres. I think it burned 150 structures. So
Sad.
I think if you're gonna ban it with good cause, I think this is the year to do it, and that makes sense to me. I like wildfire. I don't like wildfire to the point where it's burning entire units and super hot, and you're burning structures all over the place. I'm not stoked on that. I think in the long run it'll do good things. But yeah, I'm okay with banning it this year. Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yeah,
I hope
happy
you have
4th of July.
I hope you have a great weekend.
Get out, shoot some bows.
Yeah, I mean, last week when I did my podcast, it was at the end of it, I got a little bit sentimental, but like, don't we live in the greatest country?
We do.
I mean, for all the issues, that we have, which we certainly have many, that was one thing like really hit me the other day when I was kind of wrapping up my podcast. It was like, dude, I get to go out this coming year, any given day that I want to. I get to go stroll around on public land.
Mm-hmm.
I get to choose my own adventure, and I don't have to ask anybody. I can just go do it.
Just go do it.
Yeah, which is incredible. It's like one of my very favorite things about living in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, enjoy the 4th. Appreciate you listening.
Thank you.